Alright guys, this is going to be a map chat on Himmelsdorf, starting with South Spawn and the Light Tank. And the strongest place you can go in a Light Tank is to immediately head up north, following the South Road. Getting up north, spotting from this position what's coming up, or spotting from back here what's coming up. This is a little bit dangerous because anything back here, sitting over here in this area, can shoot you. So you just want to be quick, get a spot, retreat back, and help the mediums fight for this corner. Whether it's keeping something perma-tracked or what have you. Lighting tanks back here if you can. So you just want to be safe. Another good spot is back in this sides right here. What you'll be trying to accomplish here is to light stuff on this corner and back here. Artillery, TDs sitting in this area and over here. And that's pretty much all you're going to be doing. A more risky strat is to, at the very start, rush up and get into this corner right here. You have to make sure that you are going to have tanks in this area to defend you. Because they will be able to, push on this corner and shoot you and take you out. But if you can stay here lighting all this stuff, it's pretty valuable as far as knowing what's there, where everything's moving. And plus, it'll keep them trying to come suicide around the corner to take you out. So it's definitely risky. Some games will work, some games it won't work. It's always there as an option though. But pretty much being up here or over here is your best bet. Alright, so again, right here, spotting the stuff that's over here, or up in the hill, spotting as stuff comes up and helping the mediums win that side. Alright, and a TD. Heavily armored tank destroyers should go right here, protect this corner. You'll fight a lot of tanks in this corner and right there. Going back here as well, and probably some lightly armored tank or TDs. They'll get you shots up onto the hill to tanks hiding back here. And those are the 2 points really that I like taking TDs. I don't really like taking them anywhere else because these are pretty much the strongest points as far as taking them. So either being in this area is probably where I would take a TD. I wouldn't really take one on the hill. Maybe the E4. That's probably about it. All right, moving on to mediums. Now, in the mediums, the one place that I do like going pretty much every match is on hill. Taking hill is incredibly important on this map. Taking hill allows you to push around behind. Gives you much more control over the map. Shooting from the hill, pushing down behind them. It's one of the most valuable targets on this map. So your mediums rushing hill to fight this corner is definitely what you want to be doing. Being very careful about going around the side because if there are TDs or other tanks sitting down in this area, they will be able to shoot up at you and hit you pretty easily. So you got to be careful. But that's pretty much where you want to be. Other options include going over here as well. I don't really highly recommend it. I mean, it is viable for like the Leo and so on and so forth, but it's probably not get the best game winning strat. So making sure you take out this hill is probably where you want to focus most of your mediums. Right, heavy tanks, heavily armored tanks are good on the 7-8 line. So sitting the same place with the TDs and pushing this side, or heavily armored pushing this side as well. Your faster, more mobile should probably go up to the hill like your E5s, IS4s, IS7s. Although IS4s are decently good right here, IS7s are also really good up here as well. So pushing IS4s, IS7s, E5s up here onto the hill is also a really good option as well. And again, you're just going to be facing to take out this corner, taking out the sides. That's all you're really trying to do from either position. You're going to be firing down into this area from here. From here, you're going to be firing down into this area. Or if something tries to cross, down in this area. And up onto the hill as their tanks try to push around the sides. Okay, now let's swap sides. Alright, So from the north spawn at the very start in a light tank is pretty much exactly the same thing. A little bit different. You can either rush into this side to spot everything that's over here, because a lot of time artillery rush right here, TDs, mediums, and heavies will for some reason go into this area. But being able to spot there is pretty advantageous at the very start of the game. Once the game starts, going a little bit longer, you could probably even rush in and take out the artillery or get behind some tanks and shoot them. Just be a nuisance pretty much. Or you can sit at the very start and get a quick spot down to what's coming up here, so that your team knows, where these tanks are going, where they're at. Then being a little bit more aggressive around this corner, taking shots up here, or spotting more aggressive into this area. Also, you could do it. It's a little bit more risky to move up into this area, but it's also can be done. But going uphill is definitely still probably one of the strongest, helping your mediums, either taking a hit or keeping something tracked as it comes around the corner. Invaluable as far as winning the hill. So you could do that, and again, the other risky strat would be to go into this corner to keep this stuff lit. Um, it'll work some games, it'll work, and not work other games. So just keep that in mind when you go there. You're pretty much at the mercy of your team and how well they can keep you alive for tanks, getting into this area or getting into this area. All right, moving on to TDs. Again, TDs can either be on this corner, shooting down, or across, then moving up once there's nothing in the area for you to shoot, then shooting up onto hill. Pretty straightforward, pretty basic. They can also be on this corner, either right there or right there, and you'll be fighting anything that comes around this corner. From right here, you'll be flexing from this spot to these openings and this right here to shoot stuff as it pops up in the middle, or trying to go across. So that's pretty much what you're trying to do from this area. It's pretty much the only place I like taking TDs, or in this area, mainly because they're not so great on the hills. Like the E4 again is a valuable option to take hill only because it has the turret, but tanks that don't have turrets, mainly TDs, they're hard to use effectively on hills because there's going to be a lot of tanks and it's going to be hard for you to angle properly to get a shot. So I don't really like taking tank destroyers on hill. All right, so moving on to mediums. Again, you could go down here and spot across and do the same thing as you would in the scout, or like I said, the most valuable place for you to take is the hill. So taking your mediums up onto the hill to fight this corner. Make sure you're careful coming around this area right here, because tanks from down in this area or down in this area will be able to get shots on you pretty easily and pretty reliably. So be very careful about coming around the corner and trying to get up to shoot them in the back. It's more safe to go around the front than it is to go around the back. But if nothing's getting spotted here, and nothing's getting spotted here, and nothing's there, it's pretty safe to go around to take shots. Artillery is the other threat you have to worry about, but yeah, that's pretty much it for mediums as well. Heavy tanks again, either pushing this corner or pushing down this way. I don't think pushing right there is the strongest. I think you would have a much better time pushing around the outside in. So either pushing, shooting through the crack in the wall right there and shooting down to there, or pushing around this way to use the buildings as cover from the hill is your better option. Then you have the corner, so either right there on the corner of that building or behind this pile of rubble is your better options in finding this corner. And that's pretty much it. There's not really a ton of spots on this map. It's pretty straightforward, same as most maps, 3 choke points, 3 areas to protect. So hope you guys enjoyed.